You're on. It's live from below the poverty line.
Yeah, that awkward pause. Maybe it's in there for a reason. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. It's up to you to figure it out. It was self-titled. Alrighty. Back with our lessons. Having a little fun. Showing a little unreality here and there. Tonight's topic is slavery with free will. As I look into this wonderful systematic trap that's slowly closing over us, I realized it was destined that way from a long time ago. They've been working on this motherfucker for a very, very long time. Very long time. You know, takes generation washing and time and patience. And the knowledge has to be passed from one breed motherfucker to the next. In a wonderful nepotism that it is in some fucked up senses. You see, they've created a system of continually recycling us on the bottom and sucking every fucking penny out of us and taking everything in exchange. Now you need to think about this in a very, very, very wide view here, because this is basically it. And some of the rest of the world's catching up on this. That's why you're not going to have a problem anymore. Nobody's going to want to take over the world because it's already taken. Right? It's just, you didn't know. Alright, so think about this for a moment, okay? Just for a moment. Think about this. You work. You know what I say, most of the average poor employee does fucking X, Y, and Z. Good portion of it is manufacturing, stuff like that. Now, they pay you to manufacture multiple parts or mass scale to sell back to you. And if you don't keep buying, then there's no need for the demand, so thus your job is no longer required. So you're basically a slave to your own fucking system. They've encased you and are sitting up on the top just collecting the spiral of money. They're dumping money on you to give back to them. And you can't live without giving them that fucking money, so you can continue to keep that fucking job so that the production keeps going. You see? And meanwhile, they're just sitting up there just fucking collecting and enjoying with a system that's self-fucking generated. You are the power wheel. How else can you explain it any better than that? So now you're born into invisible chains. They tell you get your free will, you get the vote, you can do this and that. No. You know, like the guy said in Matrix Reloaded, he pretty much said that choice is an illusion created by those with power and those without. And I truly believe in that. So while you're running that hamster wheel, continuously, pretty much giving all these fucking 1% motherfuckers all your money on a regular basis because your consumption and your pay. So think about it, the guy who makes the bread gets paid a weekly salary for making the bread, you buy the bread, he buys the bread, we all buy the bread. And so the money that he got goes back to the people that gave it to him in the first fucking place. Just on a larger scale, because a lot of the majority of them own pretty much all of it. Alright? And so while we sit here doing this fucking maneuver where we can't get the fuck out because you can't not buy and you cannot enslaved. You're enslaved in chains and told you have free will, and that's why you can't see the chains. They tell you you have a voice, you can speak, you can change the direction, but we all know that the politics systems are just, you know, let's put it to you this way. If the rich kids are all on the playground on this side, and all the poor children are over on that side, but the rich asshole over here needs everybody's votes in order to get elected, and once he's in power, do you think he's going to go over to the poor kids because he never experienced poor before, or is he going to just bend to the will of the people that are within the same bracket that he is in the first place? Now let's be honest. Most of these motherfucking politicians do not even need the salaries that we pay out of our taxes for, because they use that fucking money for fucking dining out. They're worth much more. They've always been. Politics is just a fucking another power group for fucking people who already have a lot of fucking money. So they are interested in that, the chain that binds us all down here in the poverty line. It's what keeps us down. It's that weight that I always say, that splinter in the back of your mind that you know there's something not fucking right. A prison you can't see, taste, or smell. Kind of like the Matrix said about that, but only in a reality. You can't see it. And all we gotta do is like entertain them, give them some stuff. Of course, we're gonna collect money while we're giving them this stuff, and they can zonk the fuck out, so we can take complete control. Your children are going to be bound in these chains, and it's going to feel like normal life, but it's not. You're tied down to a machine you can't fucking break free of. You can try, but now that you've accumulated and enjoyed this fucking lifestyle that we've always enjoyed, sort of, but it's, you know, it's low key, but it's enough to keep us entertained, enough to keep us fed, enough to give us a place to sleep and a roof over our heads, pretty much like the slaves of along the hill. Place to eat, you gotta feed, you gotta have a place to fucking sleep. The only difference is they could feel and see their chains and see their walls. We cannot. They put on invisible leashes on us by going, hey, we need some information from all you motherfuckers, so we gotta make sure that, you know, you're not planning anything. So here's a shiny little device. It's like a computer. You can do all kinds of fun shit with it, and you're gonna want to buy it from us on the top. Here you go. Oh, and don't worry about the satellites and everything else circling around that know your exact location, and we can pick up any fucking signal waves that go throughout the air, because we created the motherfucker. So hard it is to fucking collect the data off of it. There you go. Sorry, it's cut and dry, it's simple. You know, whoever invents this that you're watching this on has the tools to receive the data as it's flying in the air, because they created the fucking thing in the first place. And if you really think that's not true, you really need to think about it for a little bit. So, do we all sit and be comfortable slaves to a system that never ends because there's no way out either? You can't even change this if you wanted to. You'd have to have an outright revolt. You'd have to change the entire system one more time. You'd probably change it back to the old school days, before people started fucking around with our fucking constitutions and our rights and everything else, before they figured out, hey, we'll create laws so we can suck more money out of fucking people. And that's what it is. I mean, what's the biggest fucking thing that most of the fucking, all laws fucking do? Penalty, penalty, money, money, money. That's it. You're too late on something, boom, more money on top of that. Bam, bam, bam. It's just a bunch of laws written, and they say ignorance of the law is no excuse, but nobody has fucking time to read fucking, 2,000 fucking books on fucking all the kinds of laws that they don't even know they fucking wrote in the first fucking place. And most of the laws are designed to fucking suck more money out of the fucking 1%. I've always told you people this before. I've always told you this before. Oh shit, I forgot about the fan. I told you this stuff before. Take your paycheck. Take a month. Calculate and write down everything. Start from the actual dollar amount that you're supposed to receive before all these wonderful little taxes come out. Alright, and then you're going to start from there, and you're going to take that block, and then you're going to take that money that you actually received. Take the regular block that you were supposed to have, and then deduct those taxes, put it in one corner. Every time you buy something, take your receipt, take a look, see where the taxes are, write that fucking down. Every time you purchase something, every time you do something, even if you have to pay for a penalty or a tax or a fucking speed ticket, write that fucking down, and then take a look at it at the end of the month, take all those numbers and fucking see how much you are taxed and how much money they're generating. We are just the deal. And they got to keep our fucking pays down in order to keep the generation flowing. So, are you going to leave your children to a fucked up world where people are just not telling you anything anymore? To be bound into slavery? And told you have absolute free will, but you're bound by all these pieces of paper that we've designed to keep you down, to keep you as far down as possible. And it keeps everybody just enough alive to continue the fluctuation of everything that they need. You know, every person's worth a fucking coin to them. Every person, no matter how lowly on the scale they are going to contribute some kind of money to this wonderful cause for the upper 1% crown with a center jewel. And that one gets replaced every 4 years or 8 years. Because they have no interest. They're actually showing you at this point that it doesn't matter who the fuck you put in there. At some point, who knows, I say maybe 60 years down the future, man, instead of like electing a president, it'll be like a fucking jury duty. They'll just randomly select one citizen out of the United States to run the country, because one person doesn't really do it. It'll be just more like a chore you get to do for 4 years to show that anybody can do the job. Because if you got enough people that actually know what the fuck's going on, or whatever their fucking conspiracy or whatever new deals they're working in the back rooms, it doesn't matter who the fuck's standing there. You can have anybody sit out there and tell everybody, hey, you know what, fuck you, whatever. And they'll just say, oh, you give them something to talk about and distract all the motherfuckers in the back, in the way back, that you guys have not been paying attention to, that have been in there forever, been pulling them fucking strings. They don't give a fuck, Democrat, Republican, Independent, fucking same little clown. I've been doing this for fucking 40, 50 years. I've been behind this fucking curtain, never really in the spotlight that much. You'll see glimpses of me here and there, but I keep a low key. And I've been in this system for a long time. And I'm here for one reason, for my peace. And there you have it. What do you think? Are you enslaved? Are we all? Do we stand and change things? Do we skip color, race, creed, sexuality? Do we finally abolish all these fucking little nitpicking bullshit and actually know where the cause really is of all our fucking pain, suffering, and struggle? Keep us fighting amongst ourselves because they couldn't risk us all flying under the same banner? Because everything goes at that point, and their money will mean nothing. And their power will just diminish instantly. When 99% stand. we can change anything. But if you want to choose to sit there and keep all our hating towards each other, keep our shit at each other's throats because without realizing what the real problem was all along, why we're fucking down here, why things just ain't working. Put some more fucking fake shit up of achievement that they've given you. Meaningless. Don't you want a life that you can choose to do whatever again, like people once had? To rediscover new things. There's enough for everybody. We could do a lot better than this. A lot better. Stop being distracted. Stop letting psychiatric fucking so-called doctors listen to your story for a half an hour and prescribe you 3 medications so that you can drown out the fucking what's wrong. We all know what's wrong. They want you all drugged up, they want you ignorant, and they want you glued watching their shit so you don't realize how fucked you really are. So zone out, waste away, go into the ground, and let the next generation get even tighter with the chains as they get pulled down, but they'll never notice the difference. See, the best part of that fucking whole ordeal is it's kind of like an elephant, and we all know that when they're a baby, they stake them to the ground and they can't move their legs. When they get bigger, they stake them to the ground. Now, this animal is huge. It can pull that fucking thing right out of the ground, but it's been accustomed to fucking not being able to move it since it was a small child that it doesn't even make the attempt to anymore. Do you want to be that big elephant that could have just easily ripped that stake out and started running? Or do you want to just sit there and look at that stake and go, I'm never going to move it? Which one do you want to do? Happy 2018. We'll see you soon.